Hi, I'm Cameron, and this is my 3D dream realm from the Seattle Seahawks was my inspiration. There are many difficulties I faced in making this project, but the hardest one I had was making the table. The table was hard because of the leg pieces that kept getting mixed up. It took me like 3 or 4 times to realize before I finally figured out that I was connecting the lines to the wrong spot. It was also very difficult to pull out the legs because the first time that I made it correctly, I had to redo the whole thing, so that was kind of harsh. And the second time I made it, it finally became the way it was supposed to be, but then it became very hard because none of the legs would connect to the original spots like they should have been. But after like the third or fourth time, I finally got it. Its after look was actually still pretty cool, so I think it was worth it to make it. Another cool part that I made was the couches. The first one wasn't easy, but until I got the hang of it, they were pretty hard. The main couch, the 3-seated couch, was actually the funnest, making it out of all of them, because it could hold all three people at once, and I could make it a deep blue, which I kind of liked. The carpet was another favorite part I made, because it didn't take that long, and it's still pretty cool looking. Even though it's really thin, it still has a cool thin edge blue, which is really awesome. Another part that I love to make was the screens, the TV screen itself. I especially liked making the black main screen part for a little bit until I kind of got the hang of it. I also love the little outport I had to make to it right here. Either it's an outport or it's a power button, but it still looks cool. I also loved adding the speakers. Those were pretty cool looking. I think I have a really cool stereo system. One of the challenges that I faced was making the speakers. It was kind of difficult because of how their shape is. When I was trying to copy to make the second one, it wasn't working so well. Anyways, I was working on the speaker stereo system, and the circles were kind of difficult because just the resizing and having to copy them all was really getting very difficult. One of the new techniques that I learned was how to move all the things into the room itself. For example, connecting the chair from outside to in here was pretty hard at first because I didn't really understand, and I wasn't doing it wrong, so it looks kind of funky, but then I fixed it, so now it looks pretty cool. That was one of the new things I tried. Another new thing I tried was also having to get the TV on itself, which was really difficult because of how thin the TV is and how I have to grab and move it from about way back here at an angle too, so it didn't help until I finally learned how to use the top view. Those were some of the pretty cool things that I made. At the beginning, the room itself was pretty hard to make because of just the shape and how hard it was. And now I think it has a cool overall result. To me, I think this could be a pretty cool home theater. So that's what I kind of designed it to be at first. And now I think it's just kind of like a living room and a theater at the same time. Well, that's about it.